Ready for the ride? Vroom vroom. This is Boom Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. It is another Thursday, if I'm correct. Yeah, Thursday.
Are you sure?
I think so. I tried to be. Anyway, well, bid you a warm welcome to the bar this very interesting afternoon. We're going to be talking about a few things. My name is Dolupo, and we're going to be talking about a few things today at the bar. It is interesting, a few updates from stories that we've had all week. Actually, those are a lot of things that we're going to be talking about today. But sit back, relax, and enjoy. One of the gists that this is not even part of the headlines. Okay, so before we get to that, for people just watching us, there is Tokunbo Ojekunle there, and then there is
Thank you.
Sola Rogers. Right. So let's get right into today's show. As we're getting today's show, first things first, there's been a lot of back and forth about Nigeria's new anthem. Anyway, schools are already reciting it. Yes. You, as old people,
I thought you would
are
have started
behaving like old people.
Who?
All y'all.
Okay, all y'all.
Because young people, children have caught on.
Yeah.
And you know they are very, very quick too.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've caught on, and it is what it is. They're just,
Yeah, and it's a sonorous, very nice rhythm.
Sonorous? I don't know about that.
Easy for kids to pick up.
I don't know.
Yeah, it goes on the 3 beats, 4 beats, and come back. Yeah, nice one with some evolution around it.
Oh,
it's just the bang 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 that Shola is missing from the style. Yeah, it doesn't. A feedback bang 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 should be included. Okay, so. Everybody's quiet. Am I okay? Or are they fancying?
Do you know why everybody's quiet?
Why are they quiet?
It feels like a coup.
You mean a coup? It must be a coup.
You can call it that too, but it feels like a coup. It feels like a premeditated murder. It feels like something that was served cold. It feels like revenge. It looks like the older generation were like,
are relishing in the fact that
they took this our favorite song away from us. Now that Emilio come,
the people in their generation, the Emilio come in their generation.
That's what it feels like.
Oh boy!
You know, the funny thing is that apparently a lot of people have gone to do a lot of searching, and a lot of things have popped up. First things first, that there was an interview where the now president, when he wasn't president, and where he had talked about how if he had his way, he was going to change the anthem. So yes,
before he became a president.
Yes, this was in 2022. He said it. So now that he has the powers, it's safe to say that he used his powers to change the anthem. Also, there's also been a lot of talk, still talking about that as well. People have gone to search as far back as 2014. Talking about how, remember I think this was when Goodluck Jonathan was president, the confab, and
Okay, the confab, yes.
Yeah, apparently those were part of the recommendations that the government or everybody should revert to the old anthem. In fact, there was a lot about the flag needs to be changed. That's very drab. That even the name Nigeria needs to be changed. But we were talking about this earlier, and you said it might not be very easy because even this one has Nigeria in it.
Has Nigeria in it.
So what's gonna happen?
The name, yes, the name.
Yes, it does. It definitely does. So we'll definitely see whatever updates. But it's safe to say that a lot of people have caught on with it. Also,
please, I'm sorry. This is how you people start. Before you know it now, 3 sittings, they have changed Nigeria's name. Ejo, please take it easy on us. We don't. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying because
3 sittings, the name will change.
You just find out that one day you are living in Nigerianews or something.
Anyway,
I'll shock you. That's going to be the most difficult task ever.
Most difficult task.
This one.
I don't think it will be difficult.
You have economy
to
Nigeriana or something.
No. Whatever it is, when you have the House of Assembly, the National House of Assembly,
representing everybody, including us.
Yeah. If they are on something with the president, I don't think the rest of us matter at this point. This is what it is.
Okay.
Let's call it spade a spade.
What
about 500? They changed the whole anthem in less than 1 week. What did we do?
That anthem thing is sweet somehow.
It's just because you're used to it, so it's okay with you. The honest truth is that in fact a lot of people and it's obvious that a lot of people were really in on it. In fact, the Abia State governor had come out to say that he's happy with what the president and the assembly has done, that the Arise O Compatriots is not a nice anthem. And I'm wondering, like, oh wow, you people just realize that it's not a good anthem.
Yeah, but they couldn't have done anything.
Wow.
They could only end up talking about it, Dolupo. Now it's action time.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Okay. Me and Shaf told you, one day you just found out that you are living in Nigeriana or Boxedia.
Nigeria is sweet.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's go there. No, it is not. Thank you very much.
Boom Radio can bring up this.
I'm not interested.
Let people.
No, I'm not.
Suggest
names.
No,
don't suggest. Please don't. Thank you. Please, I love you.
This is not fair.
Please don't. Thank you.
You see, Nigeria has gone beyond the stage of Wazobia.
That's precisely what's going to happen.
Nigeria has gone beyond that stage. Okay. There was a time when Wazobia would suffice. Oh, Wazobia. But right now, look, all the languages and tribes and dialects are prominent.
Exactly. And the funny thing, remember that we had this conversation before we came, and one of the issues that I had said was that true, the idea of Nigeria and Niger area is very short-sighted as Niger and having stuff around. It's not just that. Even if you look at the geographical location, how much of Niger or Niger River or Niger State is when you compare it to the whole of Nigeria? So yes, it's very limiting. I get that point.
I don't agree, Sha.
But my issue with it is that, especially with the way we are now, let's call it spade a spade. There's so many things that are not sitting down well with a lot of people in the country. Some people even want to leave. There's talks of the Biafra. There's talks of Yoruba Nation, whether legal or not. Now, how do you want to change a name now that will be okay with everybody?
If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Just leave it.
Leave it alone. I'm telling you, one day you just wake up and find out Nigeria is X because they could not come up with a name.
I think it's going to be
fellow citizens of the X.
That's going to be tough. Just X, like the X nation.
Yes. Now, when they could not come up with a name that is agreeable to everybody. Okay.
X nation.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm just saying my own.
But Nigeriana is sweet.
No, it's not.
That was meant to be a joke.
I don't know why he keeps going on. No, it's not.
Sweet.
No, it is
Shola,
not.
it is sweet.
No, it is not.
Because you like Anna.
Anyway, so for
Anna
people
Barbera.
that are talking about it,
Dolupo,
for people
please go ahead,
online,
Jerry.
since he had said it, if you think Nigeria to change their name, please let's hear your opinion.
We can call it Niger Benue.
Why does he have to be Niger? Why does
Leave
he
all
have to do
that
anything?
things.
Can we
Leave all
remove
this
the
river.
idea of
Or
exactly?
river,
Did you get?
the ocean,
Benanja. Benue, Niger.
Why can we remove river? What happened to landlocked places that do not have river? Benue
Just
River, Niger
forget
passes
it.
there.
Those two
Call it-
rivers transverse the
what?
major part of Nigeria.
Just simple things.
Says
Call
who?
it the
So are you
people's-
saying that the people in Borno are not a major part of Nigeria?
Oh, there are confluences and other connections and tributaries that connect to those rivers. Yes.
Yeah.
And those tributaries are many.
Yes. So
They go like that inside this ocean.
What happens to states that are landlocked, that the
So-
rivers don't pass them?
Unfortunately, something, nothing.
Sokoto,
Exactly my
Call-
point.
they have to be called
So
one
why
name.
does it have to be around night?
Sokoto Delta.
What?
Sokoto Delta.
But you know, this thing would have been easier if only Nigeria had allowed that man, that Goza man,
To do what?
Yes,
to,
now.
to develop a lingua franca for
Someone had
Nigeria.
developed
And what
a
does
whole
lingua
language
franca have to do with name?
What? Ah, come on now.
No, that's what I'm saying. What does
the
it
name,
have to do
the
with
name
name?
would have
We
been
would have-
coined from that language.
Simple matter.
In spelling, the country.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
making.
Now we don't have lingua franca.
We do. It's English.
Okay, so we still speak English. Speak an
Sadly.
English name.
Sadly,
The Black Nation. The
Black
Brown Nation.
You are the most driest designer of a country that I've
We're
ever
the-
met.
No, Shola, I
We're the
disagree.
most
I disagree.
populous black nation in the world anyway.
Everything
So
intelligent comes more intelligence.
thank you very much.
You're-
Thank you very
you're on the
much.
track.
So,
Thank
You're on
you.
the track.
oh yeah, out yourself. Oh yeah, say it now. Finish
I've
it.
said it now.
That's what you wanted to say.
I've said it.
That was the punchline.
Something intelligent leads to something more intelligent.
Yeah.
So you can develop.
So
on
what
it
I
to look
said
more. Yeah.
was more intelligent than what you guys said before. If we go according to what he said, so
who was that one for?
yeah.
Why you
you
do
ju-
that?
I'm
I'm
just
happy for
saying
you.
what you said.
What good? What
I'm
nonsense
just
that?
saying
Because
what
I
you
support
said.
you doesn't mean that.
I'm just saying what
I
you
don't have
said.
a say now.
But to that point, yeah, that's what's good for you.
It's not fair, Shola.
Is that you have
Oh my
gotten the
God.
result?
We are. This was not even the original gist for today,
This is
but
part
you
of the
have
gist.
spent a lot of time on it.
No,
But
we
it
want
is
to
the
talk
boom
about-
bar, so we'll just go with the flow. Anyway, Sha, it's safe to say that shout out to you people that have children. At the moment, your children will most likely teach you this anthem because y'all have a lot of
No,
things.
it's
like
so
that.
it's so easy. There are so
It
many
is?
people in that bracket who still remember these lines.
That's old people.
No,
That's
they
the
still-
thing.
they-
The larger chunk of Nigerian population do not
They
know
fell
it.
out of- yeah,
Do not
it's-
know it.
It's so easy to catch it up.
It doesn't.
Really.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And the lines are really good.
Since 2 or 3 days or last week that they be talking about it, it's only first 2 lines that my head has stuck in my head.
That's
so
you. Come on now. From the bus stop say at Obita down to
that's
Baga.
the only thing.
All the
that's in
motor
my
parks they started singing.
head.
Yes, now.
Happy
They sang
singing.
it. A whole state has started according to you.
Other states have started. They don't
Uh-huh.
have a choice.
Wow.
Anyway, still we're moving on from that, but shout out to everybody singing all these things. Wanted to also put it out there. Now, this is an update of something that I think we had talked about last week and said we were going to come to give a more in-depth conversation about it, and it is about the NELFUND. If you're in Nigeria, basically, it's about the platform for the student loan issues, and now we know that their portal officially launched a few days ago, and in about 7 days that it has launched, I think it launched last week Friday, the CEO of the company has now announced that there are about 60,000 hits on the application. So on
60,000.
on the website, yes, about 60,000. Keep in mind, it's only open for federal institutions yet.
Oh, cool.
At the moment, it's talking about how they're already integrating state universities now. They're talking about how verification is also done from the schools. All the federal universities, about 90% of federal universities
They're the
had
bank.
sent in the information of these students. So is they would confirm if you are really a student of the school or not. It needs to be. Personally, I did open the website today, and it actually does look good. It looks really nice. It looks very user friendly, and if really it's already started working, you have to apply another. I'm not applying for loan, so I couldn't get to that point. But
once
it looks good.
Once you get in, you have days in which to make a payment.
We're not making payments.
No, not for anything at all.
No, you are collecting the money. You are the one that's supposed to collect money. So I think it's just submitting your credentials and all that. That's what you're supposed to do to check, and then it will check if you're eligible for the loan or not. Like I said, the website looks user friendly. In the past 7 days, I know that Nigerian youth do not have that kind of chill. If there's something major wrong with the website, somebody would have said something.
True.
And there's not been complaints about it. The talks of the thousands of hits that have been on it, people that have already applied, thousands also that are their applications are already on a fully applied for it and all that. So I think that it's we can say that before they got to this point, there were a lot of stuff that they could have done better. It could have been planned better, but so far so good. It's not looking bad.
We're at a place now that we've never been before, at least not in any recent memory do I have of a government that is willing to loan money to students so that they don't miss out on their tertiary education. We're at a place where we must, at least commend what they have done. But I'm going to wait for feedback. The fact that people have applied is just one stage, one step. We're playing away at the layers until we get to the real meat of the matter, which is to see how well the students can access the loans and the impact it will have on lives. You see a lot of people come online to beg for school fees. A lot of them are genuine. Some of them are not. And they're students. Some, their parents come online to beg. I remember there was a pastor who had preached one day, not too long ago in Lagos, sometime this year, and he called someone out and gave him money to pay for his child's school fees because the person's child had stayed at home when they should have resumed. So we know how hard it is to pay for tertiary education. Even if people would tell you, especially people who have lived abroad now, who have experienced Nigeria and other parts of the world, will be like, education is virtually cheap in Nigeria because they do the maths and be like, oh,
it's no longer that cheap.
No, it still is. It still is because the falling dollar and all of that, the rising dollar, the falling Naira, amongst other things.
It's expensive.
Education is still cheap in Nigeria, sir.
No, I'm not comparing to any. Yeah, you're comparing to other countries.
Oh, yeah, but I think it's now way more expensive than it used to be
just
a couple of years.
I'm not comparing.
Okay, it's to a large extent, it's not as expensive.
It's still cheap.
I'm still looking at.
It's still cheap. How much is $100 officially now?
Is that dollar?
I'm asking. It's actually a question.
I think it's less than 1,200.
That's like 120,000 naira.
Yeah.
120,000 naira. How much is school fees in University of Ibadan?
I think it's about 400 and something thousand.
How much is that?
So
that's
about
$400.
Yeah.
The quality that a UI will give you, converted to America, how much would it be?
True.
Is that conversion? I'm looking at America. Okay, I'm still coming back here.
No, you guys are taking it out of context.
Let's be honest.
What I said.
$400 for a year for tertiary institution is
still
not
cheap.
Bad. It's very cheap, actually.
It's still cheap. Now, cheap from where I stand, but some people can't afford it. Because I was saying, I don't want us to belabor something that is a slight comment. It's not the main thing. I'm saying that if you have experienced both sides of the divide, you will still see that education is much more affordable in Nigeria than America or the UK. That's what, and it's a fact. The facts are there. There's no argument or discussion about it. But that's not what I'm trying to. What I'm trying to say is that even at that, there are people who cannot afford that 400,000 naira.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
There are people who cannot afford 200,000 naira. So if they can actually get a loan that will see their children through school, all through 4 years of schooling, that child is guaranteed a good life. It's not even necessarily about the fact that what you study is what you're going to use to work, but at least you would have acquired a skill.
There's a lot that education does for you, a lot of common sense, which we saw today that is not very common.
It makes education affordable and within the reach of
everybody. Yes,
that,
yes, I totally agree. I totally agree. So it's a thing, like you said. It's something that we will definitely. Okay, BT616 says Nigeria will hail thee. I'm adjusting already. The funny thing is that it's almost like as if a lot of people were just expecting. And I was going to say something that you had mentioned actually earlier, and it's almost like as if you said that a lot of politicians and our leaders from the get seem to be a lot of talk. Apparently, Mr. Tinubu seems to be the one to rip the band-aid off everything. Y'all, subsidy we've been talking about it forever.
Just removed it and said, go and sit down somewhere.
This Naira dollar thing, we're peeling it off.
And this one again,
we're taking it out.
We'll take it out. Before anybody could raise her, he had signed it.
He has already done it.
And moved on.
True, because before you have your conversations and you say you want to gather yourself, and it's already a law.
It's all gone.
Whatever it is,
It's gone.
I hope that with the benefit of hindsight, we'll look back and say, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad and all of that. It's just like BT616 said, that is already adjusting. Me, I've not even started adjusting at all. But I know that there's nothing I can do. I can only just talk. But anytime they ask me to sing that anthem now, I'll just do bang, 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 bang.
I've told you to delete that thing from your head.
It still works. It actually still works.
You come and delete it.
No.
It doesn't work anything.
It does.
Kini.
Okay, say it again.
Bang, 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 bang.
Nigeria, we hail thee. Can you see? It does work.
In fact, you see, there should have been a collabo of this national anthem. But who do me go? He's spending
thumbs up for the first time.
Exactly.
Thumbs up.
It actually goes.
Shut up, but just remove the bang bang bang.
No, is it your bang 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 bang? Is it your own? And you don't come from 50 years or plus.
But come. That anthem isn't bad.
It's not bad.
The lyrics
are not bad.
Anthems should talk about the vision, the people, the culture of the nation.
But at the end of the day, who anthem help?
People
are going to be people that are bad.
So much ado about an anthem. But there is a very massive country, fantastic country that don't have lyrics to the anthem.
Exactly.
You said so.
What does he do?
So much ado. I beg, let's talk another thing.
That's the thing. It's not.
Me too. I'm adjusting. I'm going to follow BT616. Bang 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 bang.
That thing is
anyway.
God of creation.
We're moving on. We are moving on.
I'm correct, Abby.
Anyway, talking about ripping the band-aid off a lot of things. Remember the federal government had sued the states a few days ago about the local government autonomy. Now the Supreme Court sat today and it's official. They've ordered the 36 governors to file the respective defense to a suit against them, and they've given them just 7 days to file their suit.
Wow.
Now, question. Before we talk about this one, question is Lagos State going to file a suit as well?
Lagos State should go to court and say,
expunge, please excuse me from this.
Exactly. They will make that statement. The governor has, count me out. You still has to go to the court.
Yeah, the Attorney General. Yeah, okay. Just what I put out there. So so back to the gist. Supreme Court has now given them just 7 days.
Yes, now
to respond to
is 7 days too long or too short?
I think it's short.
It's too short, yeah.
But I'm sure that they already knew this was coming. The minute the Attorney General had filed, they knew it was in the news. So it only makes sense that each state's Attorney General definitely has their work cut out for them. A lot of them you probably don't hear any of them do a lot. Now they will have to dust their wigs
to go and make a presentation. approach the court. Yes, they've been invited. They have to go.
No. Okay. The judge actually ordered that 8 states that had no legal representation today must be served with fresh hearing notices. According as of today, Borno, Kano, Kogi, Niger, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, and Sokoto did not even have a legal representation in court.
Well, maybe they are still thinking that it's a joke and they're acting in the old ways and everything. I strongly hope that this thing about local government autonomy, becomes our present, not our future.
Our future.
I want that thing to, come to pass.
BT616 says, Sanwo-Olu is a clown. Oh, wow. Dolupo can't tell me with a straight face that there is local government autonomy in Lagos. When last did Sanwo-Olu conduct elections in Lagos local government? Okay, so since it was directed at me, I would reply you. I'm not going to totally say that maybe or maybe not they do not have autonomy. But when it comes to conducting local government elections in Lagos State, I actually did my findings. Since 1999, there has not been once that they have not conducted elections in Lagos State. So I think to a large extent, the governor of Lagos State knows what he's saying. Whether they get money from the government, local government, or whatever funds, however the funds work in the local government in Lagos State, we're not privy to that. The one that we know is that, yes, the elections and the local government chairman in Lagos State,
the structures
one
are
lives
still
on
there.
my streets.
The structures are still there.
Yeah, they're actually proper elections that are actually done in Lagos State. Since 1999, there have always been elections in Lagos State every 3 years. And maybe we'll say that because it's Lagos, or maybe, but to a large extent, we can say that every governor has allowed that system. Do I still think that there should be more autonomy for the local governments, even in Lagos State? Yes. Do I think that the state electoral councils do whatever it is they do? Or yes, they need to be scrapped? Maybe if that would help, yes. Do I also think that maybe our elections should be synchronized with the federal and the state elections, and the national body of the Electoral Commission should take over? Yes, I do agree. I agree with all that. But that they do not conduct elections, I know for a fact that they do. BT616 replies, INEC should conduct the elections, not the state. I agree. I totally agree. Because we see how it is still the ruling party in the states, even in Lagos, that still dominates the elections and all that. So do I think INEC should? Yes, I think INEC should.
So if you play chess or if you play checkers, you start to see some movements, and you can actually predict 3 or 4 steps ahead, at times 5 if you can. You start to see movement. And we're looking at this thing in isolation. There's already a move towards getting the local government an autonomy that they deserve. And there's also a move that will see the scrapping of the state electoral bodies, which means that elections will be conducted by INEC. And you start to look at it and say, is this restructuring? Hello, restructuring, is that you? It looks like that's what this government is about. That's why it's looking like.
If you take the issue of the state electoral commissions, what now
state
happens?
Police is also coming up.
What happens when
everything is being done legally?
The what's it called?
Revenue allocations.
Not even the revenue allocations now. The state assemblies are supposed to assent to these bills as well. When it leaves the national assemblies, what happens then? When the state assemblies, remember the chairman of the speakers.
Do you think they will have a choice?
I think they would. I think a lot of bills, yes. Take for example, last year, the last assembly that sat on a lot of reforms, e.g. state police. One of the issues, the reasons why it has not been passed is because a lot of assemblies in the states did not endorse it. And that's what draws. So that's my fear with some of these things. Take for example, when it comes to the Electoral Act, yes, they don't need the states. But when it comes to the Constitution, to be changed, they do need the state. BT 616 also says, please, you can't use cheese to explain. You can't use chess to explain. Use things like snake and ladder so the local can get it. Are you joking right now? Really?
But you don't like chess
Really?
now.
I personally don't like chess. Does not mean I don't understand chess. Does not mean I don't understand chess. I do not like snake and ladder as well.
You don't like chess.
I do. No, I don't. I also am not a fan of snake and ladder as well.
But you should be a fan of some Ayonko.
No, I'm a huge fan of Scrabble.
Please put Olokmo there.
I'm a huge fan of Scrabble. Huge fan of Scrabble.
And that's good.
I actually
So
grew
your
up on it.
statistics will be tough.
Yeah, I actually grew up on it. So it was a lot of calculation and all.
It is.
It's wicked.
See, there's a lot more calculation in Scrabble than in chess. Yes.
Don't go there, please.
If you don't know maths, you cannot play Scrabble.
Now, just a minute.
I can say it with my full chest.
Please don't go there.
If you don't know maths,
please don't do
you cannot
this now.
play chess.
I have
You cannot
something I want
play
to
Scrabble.
say now.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Now, further to what Shola said earlier about seeing ahead, right?
Yeah.
I also have this feeling that soon and very soon, the issue of allocation that is usually passed to governors to get to local government bosses and all that will also be a thing of the past.
But they're not supposed to get it at all. Take, for example, like I will go back to Lagos.
No, what
State.
I'm saying is they're still getting it.
Yeah,
so
because
now,
a lot of them don't have local government.
So now, based on what is on ground now, they're likely going to change that route as well.
Yeah, the issue is that the people that have local government chairmen, should go directly to the local government.
If they have local government chairmen.
If they have local government chairmen.
I agree, because now caretaker stuff.
Yeah, I remember that we spoke about this a few months ago, and the kind of strides that some Lagos local government chairmen are making. And it also sheds a lot of light on. It means that a lot of these local governments are getting a lot of money and maybe a lot of IGR. What are the others doing? So because the other side to this is that the minute there's perfect autonomy, it also opens up the local government to a lot of scrutiny.
But they must open first.
I get it, but it also means that, take for example, like we'll say, remember the local government chairman, I think there are about 2 or 3 of them that built proper hospitals in this Lagos, and then you now wonder, how come you as a local government chairman can do this? What happened to the rest?
You see, they've turned the local government to orphans.
Sorry, one second. Let's
like
take
orphans.
This comment so that you can just answer with it. Chief Onikoko said the richest local government in Nigeria should be our Papa local government. They have the right to collect taxes on commercial activity in their waterways, but Sanwo-Olu and the boy have hijacked it. Okay.
And his boy is Abi. And the boy.
And the boy. Okay, so go ahead.
Local governments have become like orphans in the sense that, picture the kid of a rich person, a very rich, prosperous man who has passed on. And the so-called in Yoruba Babaisiku, or the executioners of the will, now say, you know what? We're going to take care of you, because they have the access to this person's commonwealth, him and his siblings. They are the ones that, because they are older. And they now come, the boy wants to go to school. The father said in the will, send him to Harvard. You send him to UI. You understand? Knowing that UI and Harvard, you can't compare both. Yes, I was expecting a reaction, So, in doing all of that, the kids think that you are doing them a favor. But actually, you are evil. And that's what governors have become. What they have become is that they take what they shouldn't even touch at all. And we're all focusing only and solely on allocations. Nobody's talking about the IGR. That's what Chief Ojekunle is talking about here.
He just said it now. He said that our IGR, when I was councillor in Ekiti, was 3 to 4 times our monthly allocation. We actually didn't need the allocation based on our
what you were getting.
Projection.
Fantastic.
So
fantastic.
The other day
doesn't that also make local government chairmen lazy?
Yeah, look, it's not about them being lazy. They have been.
What I mean by lazy is the fact that since you are getting one allocation somewhere, which is probably what happens with governors as well. When there's an allocation somewhere, you don't wrap up your IGR.
We're not. I won't generalize on that. I think that's now down to the individual. But however, I know that growing up also, the local government guys were all up in our faces. They're always
Everything.
coming around.
They take
this
licenses
rate
for
and
everything.
that rate, TV license and this license.
Radio license.
And
why not something off license? Yeah.
and you look at them now, and they're
Restaurant.
virtually doing nothing. They're just in their offices doing nothing. Meanwhile, if they have this freedom, and the reason why some of them can't do anything is because it's the governors that put them there. They are more or less like Fidi here in Yoruba, which is interim people. Even if they win elections, they don't have power.
Oh, we saw how
They
a
don't have
governor in
power.
Oyo State literally sacked people that's actually
That are just been elected by under another governor.
He didn't like their faces.
Again, I repeat, yes, he didn't. If I repeat it over and over again. If the elections are conducted by INEC and not by state, anybody that understands grassroots election can win without party structure.
Okay, so BT616 says the governor took over the IGR generating mechanisms. Is the point being made, Dolupo? I get your point.
Yeah.
And the truth is that even if these elections are now done now, how do you officially take off the IGR generating systems that the governors are taking over? How do you take it over from them?
Look, it's going to be, it's not going to happen overnight, right? But if they can get a legal document, just like this court case and everything now, that cuts off these local government people, this set of local government chairmen are not the ones I am talking about, because all of them are stooges. Every single one of them.
But under
I
them,
make bold to
under
say,
them, Shola, under them, this particular time.
your opinion, sir. In my opinion, I'm not done actually, but I will step down for you, sir.
No. What I'm even going to say was that the result of the outcome of the court cases could also be in their favor. But
With the governors.
local government boss, they have
that's the
they
whole.
will have no case to have gone or circumvent this particular judgment.
Okay, so Chief
They will
Onikoko
still
says,
be there.
was it not in Ogun State that useful governor
A governor
slapped a local government chairman and they still had to beg him?
The thing there, and that's what I'm referring to. These are some of the issues that I'm talking about. Every single local government chairman in Nigeria as we speak today is a stooge. I stand to be corrected. Someone should come and tell me that there's one local government chairman somewhere that stood on his own, won an election, and is not tied to any governor's apron strings. This is what we're saying. So I'm saying that even if they pass this law, it's not going to affect this current set.
It's going to take a lot.
It's not going to be. It's the next time there's an independent election.
Elections.
Then that's when you will see it. And look, and the example is there in Abuja for you. 4 local government elections. Elections were held in 4 local governments in Abuja, and the APC is the party in the center. The president lives there under Buhari, and guess what? PDP won 2 local governments. APC won 2 local governments.
So I will still. This my conversation still goes back. If in an area, in a territory where the president resides, and opposition still has a very large chunk. Remember that even with the senator in the representing Abuja as we speak is a member of the Labour Party.
Labour Party.
Do you understand? It means that there's, let's call it spade a spade. And even we saw the election. Remember that it was one of the issues that a lot of people had with President Tinubu, that because he didn't win, APC did not win in.
They didn't win in Lagos.
They didn't win in they didn't win in Abuja, which apparently seems to be a thing. This party at the center for years have not been winning Abuja. Now, my question is if the president does not have that kind of hold on Abuja, be it Tinubu, be it Buhari, be it anybody else, how come governors that are not the president have so much hold?
Because they own the electoral commission as against federal.
I can't have
in
anything.
the state.
If we really look at it, the president should own the INEC.
No, they can't.
No, it's difficult.
They can't.
It's very difficult.
They can't. There is a strong opposition. There are structures in place. There's the National Assembly.
I agree on that note.
They don't have that. But at the state level, the state assembly is owned by the governor and his party. So who's going to call him out? Who's going to tell him that he has done something wrong? He's the one that employs the state INEC chairman. He's the one that puts all the people on the board. All they do is sit down and write numbers. It's the truth.
So
we cannot continue.
Until this
And Nigeria will not go forward until we rescue the local government.
Until this present local government set fizzles out. Is that what I'm saying, Shola?
Yeah, so
that's when there'll be some leeway.
BT616 takes it to another level and says that it is sad that the indigenes of Abuja are not in the ruling council of their land. The laws need to change.
Yeah, but again, that's where the problem will lie.
But there's a lot more.
People are going to tell you now that it's a federal capital. That's what they're going to tell you. People will tell you. Is that not what they're saying about Lagos
which
too?
in reality is a federal
That's what they're going to tell you.
It is a federal capital, but there's some indigent people that are there. The truth is that, are we going to say that because they're indigent people, those are the ones that should be in charge of a lot of things? There's no law that says that. There's no
that's
law.
why he says laws to change and all of that. He's suggesting.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult, because if we go by it, the idea of being indigent is what happens to a lot of states.
There's fire too. Girl.
BT616 says Stoda will fire anybody that says Abuja is a no man's land.
Oh, they started saying it
they
already.
They should at least have representation. I think that yes, but as long as it comes to voting, how many people are indigent that actually come out to vote?
They have representation. They should have representation. They have representation. Problem is that the indigenous people, the local people,
they need to
the
rise
original people whose land was more or less, taken over to create the
federal capital.
And of course, you remember it just wasn't a state. They got from different parts and merged together. They are the ones that have been outnumbered. They have been outnumbered, and it was only recently that one of them became a minister that people were actually like, oh, the government has remembered them and everything. And any law that is passed along that line would be extended across the country.
Yes, it's going to. So I think it's a gray area that needs to take, for example, the conversation that happened during the last election in Lagos State. Remember that Lagos was anybody can do anything. Now there's a conversation which really caught a lot of people and did not like. It didn't rub off for a lot of people very well. Was when the conversation came out and said Lagos State was no man's land.
Some people still believe it is.
They still believe it is not.
Some people are still saying
some
it.
people are still saying it.
Yeah.
But it actually rubbed off wrongly on a lot of people. And you could see a lot more indigent people coming out. I think with the issue with Abuja as well, I don't think there will be a law. I think the local people need to stand up for themselves and decide, okay, this is the person that we want. This is the person that we're voting for. Sadly, when it comes to ministers, you cannot choose who can be your minister. It is the purview of...
the indigents who are there are going to have a tough fight with
but
those who are coming there.
But somebody needs to start something.
Yeah, you will start.
The indigens,
but it's not going to be
indigens
easy.
must get organized.
Exactly.
And again, as I'm repeating it, do they have the numbers?
Numbers. It's a number thing.
Okay, now the law. There's a law now that allows people to relocate their voters' cards.
Yeah.
There's a law now that allows it. And it happened during the last election. A lot of people moved their cards to Lagos. If people now decide, regardless of the tribe that they are from, that okay, they are going to take about 500,000 people or 50,000 or 30,000 or to even go and register, they don't even need to settle there. If you just tell them, oh, this is where I live now, and they register you as an Abuja indigent or resident, what you do is you go back to wherever you are. And when it's election time, people
we see a lot
we have Nigerians who go home to register. I have a friend who is from Kwara. He votes in Kwara State.
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people from the north,
you are right.
they register up north, but they live in Lagos.
They do that.
So
BT616
that's where the problem is.
That's why I warn our Yoruba Lagosians promoting the removal of indigenship to be replaced by residency. Anuyi Shemi.
It's a big problem, especially when you look at what's happened in other parts of the world. It has happened. People have ended up losing what is called their ancestral homes.
Gone. Lagos is...
So, Chief Onikoko says, will not allow the removal of indigenship in our laws. It will only favor those who move around. I agree with you. Remember, yesterday or 2 days ago, there was an announcement, I think, in Abia State that they had kind of removed the idea of state of origin and all that. And we know we had this conversation yesterday like that. How do you want to do it?
That's a big joke.
It's
a big one.
I was waiting for some kind of official statement. All I saw was a screaming headline by people, a screen grab of it. But I'm waiting for the governor of Abia, who they said made this claim, to show us which law backs him saying that he has removed state of origin. Why would you want to remove state of origin?
And it's a serious matter.
Why? What's
federal government should step into it.
What's the sense behind it? What?
I don't think they need
How
to
does
step
that help
into it.
development?
I don't think they need to step into it. What I'm just saying is that kind of thing, for it to be effective, it has to be a nationwide thing. Because if you claim that, okay, you're originally from Abia State and there's nothing like state of origin in Abia anymore. Yeah. So you go to another state hoping to get the same energy, yes. But you don't.
Okay,
so at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense.
Picture this. If we look at the figures that the last elections generated, and there's a difference. I don't want to assume, but I can't remember the figures that they got in Abia State. Okay. What this simply means is that a neighboring state can look and say, you know what, OT became governor with a 9,000 vote gap. During continuous voter registration, we're going to move 20,000 people from Enugu State to go and register. Chebi said
to balance out.
I'm bring one person from Enugu to say, I want to be a House of Assembly member. Exactly. You can't stop them because you are the one that is now saying. Then so you now say what? That's development. That's not. It's not. We are not a country that is tied like that. We are more or less
Everybody
a confederation.
Let
the federating states continue to operate as, you know, as a mini countries that they are, than saying that you are removing state of origin. Then one day now we'll say what? That they should remove it in other states because you removed it. Now you want to remove your own now.
Shout out to the people that drink stout.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself.
It's a bar. You're allowed. Anyway.
I'll zip it.
I didn't say that.
Shout out to the people who are on gin, as we say.
Okay.
Gin and juice, baby.
Now, just wanted to put this out there. We definitely will. What's more conversation about this comes, we will talk more about it. But sadly, another building has collapsed in Lagos Island again today. A 2-story building collapsed today, and many people were trapped. If you see that picture, it was unnecessary. It was such an unnecessary thing, and I know that is something that has been going on for weeks and all that. There's a lot of so-called sanitation in the Lagos Island area. There are a lot of pulling down of a lot of buildings around. But when you see this structure and you see the picture, you wonder why.
Why what now? Please be explicit.
I wonder
why. There's literally no space behind the building beside it and the building behind
all
it.
choked up.
If it had gone a few meters away, another building would have come down with it.
I thought your why was going to be. You're talking about more or less the proximity of those buildings to each other and everything, which is a standard thing in Lagos Island. We used to joke about it then that if you're cooking soup in your house and you actually run out of salt, you don't need to go down. Just open your window. Baba Mulika, and you from across the building you can get salt. We used to joke about it because I used to go to the island. I had a whole lot of friends there. But again, we saw those problems coming.
Yeah.
Finally, maybe they're doing something about it, pulling down some structures that have failed the integrity test and all of that. But lives are being lost. Properties are being destroyed because people feel that they can do anything. Where were the building regulation people when all these things were being put up in the first place? You see, we look away when there's election time because we want to get votes. Then after election, that's when we start work. It shouldn't be.
No, more like when it's second term. That you don't need the votes anymore.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. I saw one of the Lagos State officials who pointed at the building that he told them that they had to bring that building down that day and all of that. And people were complaining and all of that. But guess what? If you see the building, it's a building standing in front of another building. Then another attachment was now joined to it. They don't care about foundation.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Once they put those pillars like this, they can go 3-4 stories.
I know that government is doing its best.
Is it magic?
But for me, the best is not enough.
Like, what did you think was going to happen?
It's not enough because every time they do this, it happens. They turn their backs, they come back, 2 houses come down again.
Yeah.
Integrity test has not been done for all those builders. This particular one, Shola, if you go and check it out,
it even looks really
blocks,
old
you see
and
those
all
blocks,
that.
the blocks put
BT
together
616
so
says
ancient.
buying and building more than one-story building in Lagos Island is like playing Russian roulette with your destiny.
Totally.
I agree. In fact,
Totally.
I don't even think that Lagos Island is a very nice place to want to build anything or buy anything.
No, if it's done properly, if it's done properly, look at when you go to that Tom Jones area, or you stand around the Moshalachi Gym or the Central Mosque. The older buildings are the best buildings. The 6, 7, 10, 12, 15-story buildings are still standing strong. But you see the shanties and the things that they are building, all in the name of building business centers and funny homes, they are the ones that are crashing. Because why? Those ones were built with proper regulation.
Anyway, we will see what is going to the state government has not said anything yet when it comes to that, but we'll see what is happening.
They don't even need to say anything. See, I'm sure they have a template now of responses. It has happened that they released this one because it's something that's every other month.
Sure, it's not going to end anytime soon.
It's not going to comes down all the
anytime
time.
soon. Now, two things before we finally go anywhere. There are two gists that we're going to be talking about. We do not have a lot of time, but we will do it. First things first is Governor Emefiele is in the news again. Former governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, is in the news, where a particular retired director of CBN had said that categorically in court that Emefiele didn't get the approval before spending 18.9 billion naira on the Naira redesign. Keep in mind that yesterday there was another millions of dollars that was also forfeited, that was linked to him and was domiciled in Titan Trust Bank. At this point, that Titan Trust Bank needs to be looked into.
You see, again, everybody's going to blame Emefiele, yes, because he was at the forefront of everything. But you see, how did the system allow him? How is one man so powerful under a president
18.9 billion
whose
naira.
main mantra was anti-corruption? It was like, when Buhari entered, people were shivering. Body language. But now, you hear about one man being able to take such decisions. How many governors, duly elected governors of states, can just move 18 billion? Do you understand? And one guy, without approval, spend 18 billion.
That. I think that
I'm waiting for investigations personally.
Yeah, we're going to continue.
This guy is not
It's
alone.
not going anywhere.
He's
not
alone on this. I don't have any proof.
No,
and I'm not saying it because
his wife
I'm
and a few other people have already been declared
I'm not talking
wanted.
about even those ones.
He's talking about people in
People in government. I'm not talking about those
I think
ones.
so too. I think so too. Chief Onikoko apparently takes us back and says that why didn't they extend the loans to State University? Why limit it to federal universities?
It's in phases.
Yes,
it's in phases, and they are going to onboard them after this stage.
Yes.
It is something that people have asked, and it's definitely going to evolve.
It was spoken about today.
It's going
already
to evolve.
That they're definitely
state universities,
adding them as well. So another one that we're going to talk about is two things. The governor of Rivers State is in the news again, and he said, okay, Oluwarem Leku Toviho says Emefiele couldn't have done all these all alone. There are players in the matter. He's just the fall guy.
That's the point.
I agree with you.
That's the point.
I totally agree.
Because there must be something backing him to make him 18 billion,
to make him do all
$1.4 million.
The F-1 the brag is too much.
It's the audacity for me. I agree. Now, Governor, what's his name? Fubara has said that he inherited 200 billion naira debt on uncompleted projects, but that he was still able to do a few things in the past 1 year.
He should kick off with doing proper governance and leave all these stories.
Are you the first person that is...
We know. I'm sorry. There is no government in Nigeria that starts and ends without owing. Because the projects are supposed to continue.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as a problem. What you need to tell us is that of that 200 billion, half of it has been stolen or they can't be accounted for. But saying that because you made debts, everybody meets debts because work must go on.
One as the governor of Kaduna State.
It's part of
Everybody
governance.
meets that. I don't think it's news.
Even in corporate bodies, like
so are we saying that he's saying that that's the reason why he couldn't do a lot?
Please,
that's what he's saying.
Even in the corporate world, when a new MD comes in, it's not as if the old one that is going will now say, you know what, before I hand over to this person, I want to clear all the contracts. And no, you don't. What if the contracts have not gotten to the stage of payment? Some contracts are done in phased payments.
Phased payments, yeah.
Please stop these excuses and get to governance, man.
The man knows.
Anyway, he's looking for things. Anyway, the court judgment again today has barred the 25 assembly members from sitting and acting as lawmakers. Now, they have not officially declared their seats vacant. There is just an injunction until the case is
Rivers State House of Assembly issues will not be resolved until the National Assembly gets involved.
Yes, I think at this point the House of Representatives needs to get involved.
And it's under their purview.
It's under their purview, and I think they need to do it. They need to do it quickly.
Everybody's crossing legs.
Oh, everybody's waiting for who's... No, I think that you can't blame them as well, because remember, the president had intervened and...
That has failed.
And that didn't work.
That has failed.
So maybe it's now to go through the law and they do it properly, because really there's a lot, like you had said, there's a lot of governance that is... And sadly, even if they declare these people's seats vacant, there are only 3 people. The house cannot sit. Only 3 people cannot sit in the house. It does not make any sense. It doesn't.
And the funny thing is that if they were to conduct an election in Rivers State today,
how are you sure those people will not win again?
That they will not return.
Exactly. So it's not. I don't think that he's thinking about it.
Except they are barred from contesting, and their party is also barred from contesting.
To be barred too.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, moving on from that, finally, before we go, the PDP has unveiled an updated list of the campaign council for the Edo State gubernatorial elections, led by Governor Fintiri. I'm guessing that's the Adamawa State governor. And there's a lot riding on this, whether we like it or not. The Edo State election is coming up soon. There's also 1 or 2 other elections. Yeah, Odo State as well is coming up very, very soon. So we will. I'm sure in the next couple of weeks there's going to be a lot of drama.
Yeah, the reason why they have brought in Governor Fintiri is because the initial list that they announced, there might be at least one name there that they don't think should be there anymore. I didn't mention anybody's name. I'm just saying.
Don't mention it.
Really? You shouldn't. Anyway, the Labour, the federal government, and private sector are set to resume their minimum wage negotiations tomorrow. Again, as remember, the state, the private, and the federal government are on 60,000 naira now. The Labour is on 494,000. So
please, a point of correction.
What is that 94?
The amount that Dolupo has mentioned is what they are negotiating.
And that's where they are now.
Let me do the public service announcement. That's where it's negotiation on. Not like they are going to pay it tomorrow, 31st. No. Because they might think she has a scoop from...
I don't have any scoop. Oh.
She said they are coming back to continue.
I'm just saying that when she said they are on... They are coming back. They are on 60,000.
They are continuing.
They are still on 30,000.
They are still on 30,000
tomorrow.
Actually, they are still on 30,000. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow Friday, to give you another wonderful edition of the Boomba. Please do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
Torso.